Okay, working on some iron heads right here. We're trying to get some valve springs installed on these. So this job came in with some big stroker motor. He's got these big heavy-duty racing style springs in here that we need to get rid of. There's way too much spring tension for the street. So we're going to blow these down and put the manly regular springs in here. He's running a 490 lift Andrews cam in here. So I calculate out the coil bind of the spring right here with a collar. Where's the collar at? Yeah, right there. When you collapse this all the way down, we got 800 between the spring here. So that was that number. We got 50 thou clearance. There we go. And then we got a 490 lift. That gives a 1.340 install height. So this is the tension the spring should have when it's on there. Okay, so I was figuring out what the installed height was with my new parts here. So we have the manly collar, upper collar spring kit, and their lower collar, which gives you more clearance. So basically they cut this thing deeper up in here to let this sit all the way down against the head. So instead of sitting on top of the guide boss right here, the shoulder, it sits right against his head. So that's where this one is right now. So and these collars are using stock Harley keepers also, so everything is changing. Okay, so these are upper. Okay, so you mark that up on there like that. You just measure here with your scale and get your dimension. So this one's around 315. I don't know if you can see what it is right there in the camera. That's about 315 roughly, something like that area. We need 340, so we need to pick up 25 thou to get what we need. So I was looking at how to get more clearances. First thing is I measured all the springs, and we got these two springs are a little bit lower than the other ones, so we pick up another 10 thou more coil bind there, so we can gain it over there if we need to. The other thing I measured is the depth of this collar versus what the shoulder of the guide is, and we can pick up some more clearances on that. So if you go in here and measure this, measuring right here to our shoulder, we got about 92 thou. So about 91 thou, so we're about 90 thousandths on that one. And measure the exhaust, should be about the same. Yep. About 106 on exhaust, a little bit taller. And you measure the depth of what this collar is here, about 135. So the 90 135, so that's 45 thou. We can cut this down and still go down over the guide. The other one at 105 or whatever it was. This is what, 35? I lost track of number. 35. We can gain 20. No, 30. We gain 30. So what I can do is I can take this in a lathe and cut this down right here on the back side and gain some clearances that I need. This is 75 thou thick right now. So if I blow off 30 thou, that still leaves 45 thou left on there, which is plenty thick enough. We gain that in our coil bind, which gives me a number I need to bolt this thing together. So that's what I was going to do. The other thing I do is I got to have room for seals. And the seal needs 300 thousandths from the collar to the top of the guide to get clearance. Now right now we only have about 280 or something right there, 270, I can't read it right this minute. If you cut off that shoulder, go down to the next shoulder, we're going to be at our 300 number we want. So I'll cut that off and gain 300. Now that's on there for spring alignment. So if you take your string You stick it on there, it'll line, but this is the interference fit inner spring to the outer. The outer spring centers off this lower lip here, right here a little bit. Not real heavily though, see how loose it is. So it doesn't really matter where we center it at. We still got a lot of looseness here. But anyway, it's got that much clearance no matter what. So I can go ahead and blow this off, and that'll give me my clearance I need. And there should still be a little bit of thickness left in here for support on that. Hopefully. So anyway, I'm going to blow that off and see what we get. Looks to me like it's going to make it flush in there. Not sure how they're doing that. That looks pretty thin in there, so I might not be able to blow that off as much. 660 thick. That's 800, so there's 100th thou across. Yeah, we should be alright. It's 220 thou thick, it was 135 down, that's 75, yeah, we got enough material. There'll be material left when we're done. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and blow some of the material off of this here. But first I'm going to measure all of them, see what I need for all of them. Just because I measured one, they might not all be the same. So this was the rear intake I measured. I think that was an intake. Yeah, we'll double check. If in doubt, remeasure it. This is why you got to mock up everything so you know where you're at. Can't just throw it together and say it'll be good enough. That's how you get a bunch of broken parts in your motor. Of course, that's a lot of people do it that way, but it's not how you're supposed to do it. Okay, so this one is all the way down. Yeah, we're about 300. We need 340. Yeah. I need 40 thou off that thing. Okay, so these here are the lower ones, I think. Okay, so the exhaust. Keep all the parts without stick their head together. You don't mix up all your components and everything goes back like it's supposed to. Okay, this one here. Light where I can see it. We're at 355. So the exhaust we don't need to do anything on. It'll bolt together. Okay. So probably all I got to do on that is cut the lip off, I bet. Yeah. So I blow the lip off, we'll have the clearance we need for that. Okay, so I can put the tall spring on him. It should be this one. That lip there. And one of these two I use. I don't remember. Some of those components are the same. Okay, so I'm going to cut one, not the other. Alright, this head's still together. I haven't taken it apart yet. I'm going to take this apart. Now these valve springs here are going to give us about 90 pounds on the seat. 85, 90 right in that area. The springs that are in here right now are 180 on the seat, which is way, way high. So, I'm not doing a race bike, so we don't need these things in there. Okay, get out of my way so I don't kick it. It also has titanium retainers on it. We're going to steel. taking off. So that's what we're taking off, and this is what we had. This is the new one, this is the old one. See, they're a lot taller, bigger diameter, a lot thicker wire. They're stiff. That's why we're not using them. We also got these big ass tall seals in here, which never don't work either. So this thing didn't run since it was put together, I don't think. Alright, where's my seal puller? Nice and tight. Ah! So after you beat them off, you gotta get the old seal off. Make sure they're clean. So you still have the lap marks on the seats here. They've never been run. We ever put it together. Don't think they were checking their clearances. So they don't want to come off. We'll get them off. One way or the other, they're coming off. Seal's junk anyway, so we don't care about it. Come off of here in pieces, just watch. There you go. One seal off. Weird looking valve guide. Now these ones didn't run a lower collar, just had a washer sitting in the bottom here. And it appears to be jammed in there. That'll be fun to get out. Treble layer. Nope. More problems. See if we can get under it somehow. There we go. Yeah, that was on there. Not on there no more. It went to flying someplace. We'll find it later. Not important. Okay. Get the other one off. A lot stiffer for some reason. Heating in the top of the valve, I think. Start squeaking it pretty soon. Yeah, it's heating up in this. Just screw it in. Alright, junk. These are cheap ass import valves. Where'd they put the seat? Oh, they put the seat right on the inside edge. Look at that. Instead of out on the outside edge, we get more power. They're right on that lip right there. Right on the inside of it. Definitely not made for performance. Those valves are going to cost you about 5 horsepower, I bet. And more stuff hitting the floor. Hello. Somebody didn't want me. Force them off. Alright, those are off. Okay. Try to get the lower collar washer thing off of there again. Those are tight. There we go. They don't come off very easy. But it came off. That's all that matters. There's those. Okay. Now, stuff out of my way. Okay. Next valve. Check our install height again. $365, tons of clearance. We're golden. Okay, so that works. Okay, let's see, I didn't check the height of that. That one has enough height, which means it's going to be too tall. That guy looks like it's really hard too. Oh yeah. Wonderful. These are chilled iron guides. File, don't touch them. Well, we're obviously not going to be doing anything about making that work. Can't shorten that guide. Without grinding on it. 530. It's a little bit small on the stem size. Seal might not fit very well either. Should go on there. Hopefully get it off easily. Okay, but our intake. I'm going to be getting interrupted here in a minute. All right, we're good on this one. One 290, 300. So we got to trim the piss out of this one too. So we'll be back. All right, heads going back together here, kind of. Okay, I cut the collars down. I cut the lip off the top, and I cut the thickness way down this way. Cut 30 thou off. So that should give me the numbers I need here now. That's just the front head. Let's see what we got. Come on. Fighting me. There it goes. Okay, let's see what we got now. Should be on the fat side now. Here's the lip at. Oh, we are probably about 330-ish. Light's bad over there where the camera's at. Yeah. I think I'm being generous at the 330 number. We needed what, 340? Yes, and these are 10 thou less on these springs, so that gives me my extra 10. Okay, so we're using up everything we can get out of this. Okay, so that should work both on both of those. So I'm going to go ahead and put it together. Okay, we're going to put valve seals on here too. Here's the intake. And these are the exhaust. Two different sizes. Okay. Clean. Now this guy here is really hard. I can't do anything with it really. So hopefully the seal goes on there and works correctly. Guess we'll find out. If it doesn't work, we'll be destroying valve seals here. So you take a little Loctite here, sleeve retainer, put a layer on the side there where the seal goes. That'll help Loctite it to the guide, which will hold it, and will also help seal it a little bit too. Make sure you wipe off the tip if there's anything on the tip. There we go. Hammer. Special tools, 2 hammers and 1 screwdriver. You have to figure out which one to use on first, which application. Okay, this is the front head, so we use the front parts. So this is the intake. There we go. Off scale here a little bit, huh? Okay. I rotate this as I go on a little bit. Make sure it's on there. It's good. rotate them a little bit as I go in. Okay. Make sure you put the correct collar in the right location. So the uncut one goes on the exhaust. Exhaust takes the bigger hole seal. Rotate them a little bit to make them go on. I've got a pretty sharp edge on that seal. Damn. Oh, there it goes. Didn't take any seal off, but it sure went on hard. The intake gets to cut down one. Yeah. Just tap them on with a steel hammer. Rotate them, they don't move, they're tight, that's good. Okay, those are all the way in there now. Got tension on them. Okay, this side's good. Next head. Same thing. Something I didn't check for with my TD lift numbers. Sports with stock valves, you don't usually have a problem with interference. There's a huge gap in these things. And if you want to check that, you can check it. So I can check it real quick to show you how to do it. Basic is take your scale, push the valve all the way in, pick wherever you want to measure from, and move it in height to the valve at TD. These are going to be pretty high TD numbers on these, so probably going to be at least 225. So there's 25, and then we go down 200 more. And a little extra wouldn't hurt. Okay, this one over here, we do the same thing. It'll be about somewhere in that area for 225 on both valves. And you can see we got a 1/4 inch gap in here almost. So these ones aren't even close. And when you have the bigger valves on the exhaust, it gets a lot closer. But so this motor's been already made for putting big stuff in here. Move that scale. Okay, so let's see. This is the intake. Intake gets the thin one. Make sure it fits in there smoothly and spins. It does. Exhaust gets the regular one. Jeez, excuse me. All right. It'll move. Valves move. Okay, good. So this is ready to put together now. Okay. Where'd my scale go? Okay, let's see. We need to put a little bit of lubricant on the valve tip over there. These are exhaust intakes were galling up on my tool here. Yeah, I get the right word out. So I'll put a little bit of oil on that intake there, like that. That should help stop that problem. Okay, so the intake, so we take the intake stuff, we use that. Of course I got my fingers gooey because I touched something with oil on already. Taking long to get dirty again. Okay, this one you just kind of hold your fingers here on the collar, holds the tool centered there, and then you tighten it down. And they're far enough. Put the lower keeper up in there. My finger's not fitting in there. Tighten it down too far. Could get my finger in there. So you hold the one in, and you drop the other one on top. Go just a little bit further to get it in there. A little bit more. Yeah. There it goes. Release it. Make sure the keeper is going in there correctly. And go the rest of the way. Okay, that one's in there. Ooh, not in there all the way. That keeper's trying to come out, it's not in there all the way. The valves have really sharp edges on the grooves and it's not letting the stuff go together correctly. Now it's in there correctly going in. Kind of weird. Don't usually have problems with this stuff doing it. Damn, it didn't go in again. This time it's coming half out. What the hell's up with this thing? These valves are cheap ass valves, that's for sure. Stick it in there this time. It sure don't look very pretty, but it's in there. Got a couple good wraps on each keeper. Okay, that looks like it dropped in there all the way that time. Oh, that was a kind of weird how that didn't want to go in. Check our installed height. Let's see, can't really get in to measure it. It's down inside of a hole. Can't get in there. Not accurately anyway. I can kind of see about a 330 number almost. Collar doesn't stick up high enough to grab a hole that we can measure. It's down inside of a hole. This one's up a lot higher, obviously. Alright, let's see if this one works better than that last one. That last one didn't work for squat. So these valves are definitely not made like the Kibble White valves I use are. Cheap ass import things. Gently hold that one, put this other one in there. Crank it a little bit further. Damn, there it is. Crushing my finger with the tool. Looks like it's going in there right now. Couple more turns, check it again. Looks good. And now it looks like it's in there all the way, like it's supposed to be. Okay, jacket's in the way. Okay, give it a quick wrap. It's up in there where it belongs. Looks good. And this one I should be able to measure this one fairly easy. Yeah, not fairly easy, but in there. It's still buried where it's hard to read. About there. Looks like I'm right about 340. Right about there. 340, 350-ish. Okay, so that's good. So that's how you set those up. Nice. Wipe off that grease I put in there. Okay, so now you got some springs in here, street springs. They're still heavy duty, so you can still run this thing up to 7,000 without a problem. So it's plenty adequate for a street. A lot stiffer than stock, but a lot softer than those razor things that were in there. Okay, now we do the other one. Let's see if this one fights us like the last one did. Okay, and drop in like it's supposed to. Looks like it's in there. Yep, looks good. Okay, last one. Be another finger pincher. Stupid jacket. Hate jackets. Everything gets in the way. Catches on everything. That one didn't work. Crush my finger a little bit more. There it goes. Looks good. Yep. One's in there. Alright, that one's all in there like it's supposed to. Measure this one, at least what we can measure. Attempt to measure anyway. Yep, definitely 340 plus. 345 probably. That was on the exhaust. Intake's pretty well buried, you can't get to it. Yeah, you can't measure the intake. So the exhaust we can get in there and measure pretty easy with. So go in here and measure it. See, right about 340, 350 right there. You eyeball the one side over there, and you come over and look on this side. So that's how you do it. Okay, so now we got a set of heads all done up, ready to go. Good for the customer. That's how you do a valve spring install and check for everything. And make it fit as needed, because it definitely needed some help. Alright, that's it for now.